Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are healthy and safe too. Now, in this session, we are just continuing the integral part, which is the major pattern. We are going to discuss is trigonometric functions, integral of trigonometric functions. In the last session, we have discussed major five patterns, how to deal with. Now, in this session, we are going to take four more patterns to understand, and these are very simple and straightforward. So let's take the pattern number 6, how to deal with the question if the question is in the form of sine to the power of mx into cos to the power of nx, where m and n are integers. Remember, m and n are integers only, right? So if they are an integer, specifically you can also speak like both are positive integers. Okay, so you can see the examples how they are look like sine square into cos cube x, sine cube into cos square x, like this, right? So only the form is sine to the power of mx into cos to the power of mx. Then this working rule will definitely help you out to find the integrals. First, we'll check which power is even, right? Out of 2, if m is even, then we will let sin x is equal to t. If n is even, then cos x is equal to t. If both are odd, if both the powers are odd, then you may take any one of the t ratio as t. If both are even, then you cannot take the substitution technique directly. We'll go with the trigonometric formulas. So we'll take three sums over here, right, to understand how this pattern will help you out. So I'm taking the question number 1 in the list. It is already C, I is equal to sine square x into cos cube x dx. Now you can see here the power of sin x is positive, hence I will take sin x is equal to t. This we called as substitution technique only. So let sin x is equal to t, whose derivative is already available. Then differentiate with respect to x. So ultimately sin x derivative is cos x and derivative of t is what? dt by dx. So from here dx will be dt upon cos x. So we are going to change dx and sin x, and then we'll see what it is reduced to. T square into cos cube x into dt by cos x. So one cos x will get cancelled, cos square x is left. So I is equal to t square into cos square x into dt. Now we are doing the integral with respect to t, hence every term must be in terms of t only, then only we will find the proper answer. For this, what we need to do is simple. This cos square x can written as 1 minus sine square x, right? Hence, this sin x is already assumed as t from the beginning, so you can replace with t. So finally, the complete sum is going to reduce to a simplest one. So by multiplying inside, and you may split the integral into parts, t power 4 into dt, then you can separately simplify this by t cube by 3 minus t power 5 by 5 plus c. Then finally replace t with sin x. So sin cube x by 3 minus sin to the power of x by 5 plus c. So it's so simple to solve. Only you need a beginning startup, right? So how to get an idea? Just by following this working rule. Now in a similar manner, if you observe the question number 2, the power of cos x is even, then in the question number 2, we will take cos x is equal to t. That's it, right? It's unhinged. You can go with the same process. In the third question, both the powers are odd, so you may take any t ratio and as t. Either sin x is equal to t you can substitute, or cos x is equal to t you can substitute. But if you observe question number 4 and 5, here in both the questions, the power of sin x and cos x are even. In this case, you cannot take directly sin x is equal to t and cos x is equal to t. It will not work. Hence, we will take the help of trigonometric identities. Right? So, I am solving the question number 4 for your understanding. Right. Question number 4 I am taking here, where you will see the sine square x into cos square x dx. Then here both the powers are even, hence we will take the help of trigonometric ratios or trigonometric formulas. Sine square x can be written as 1 minus cos 2x by 2 into cos square x can be written as 1 plus cos 2x by 2 into dx. So when you multiply, so 1 by 4, you can take it as a constant of the integral. It in the form of a minus b into a plus b, it becomes a square minus cos square 2x dx. You can separate the integral here to solve integral of 1 into dx minus integral of cos square 2x into dx. Now I is equal to 1 by 4. Integral of 1 is x minus, again it is just a pattern 1 question. Pattern 1 may already have solved how to deal with cos square x. Right? Again you have to use this cos square x as 1 plus cos 4x by 2, as you are using cos square x as 1 plus cos 2x by 2. Hence cos square 2x is written as 1 plus cos 4x by 2 dx. Right? So I is equal to 1 by 4 into x minus, we can separate the fraction like 1 by 2 into cos 4x dx. Now you can take this half outside as a constant, you are left with 1 dx. Then I is equal to 1 by 4 into x minus half, 1 ka integration x, half of, then you can go with the substitution technique over here. Let 4x is equal to t, then dx will change into dt and 1 by 4 as a coefficient r. Directly you can write whatever the coefficient of x that will come in denominator, then cos theta integral is minus sine theta. So hence it becomes plus sine theta upon 4 plus c over, and thereafter you can just multiply inside to get last also you can write. So multiply inside to get like x by 4 minus x by 8 plus what you will say here 1632, so sine 4x by 32 plus c. If possible to take LCM over here, reduce it to get the final answer. It will become what? X by 8 and the remaining one. So friends, this is all about the pattern number 6. I hope you definitely understood this one. So with the help of this working rule, you may solve this listed 5 sums which already there in the third exercise. Randomly you will find these questions, right? So pattern 6 is over here and we'll move to the pattern 7. In pattern 7, only the change is Only the change is it looks like pattern 6, but the condition on their powers is different. The pattern looks like the same, but the condition on the powers m and n r belongs to rational numbers, means which are in the form of p by q, maybe plus or minus. So, if the power of m and cosine x and cos x r belongs to rational numbers, and and if their sum gives the negative integer, sum of their powers is a negative integer, then this working rule will work. So what is a working rule for this pattern? Is divide the numerator and the denominator by cos power zx, and then let tan x is equal to t in the process. It's so simple. I repeat, if the form is in the form, question is in the form of sine power mx into cos power nx, where m and n are rational numbers, their sum is a negative integer, then what the working rule is? Divide the numerator and denominator by cos power zx. If the sum is minus 3, we'll divide the numerator and denominator by cos cube x, like that. And then in the process, we'll get tan and sec terms. So in that way, tan x will be assumed as t as a substitution technique. Then we'll go for the simplification process. So first, I will list out the sums based on this pattern. Question is like 1 upon sin x into cos cube x dx. Question number 2, 1 upon sin power 4x into cos square x. Number 3, 1 upon under root of sin cube x into cos power 5x dx, and sec power 4 by 3x into cosec power 8 by 3x, and cube root of sin square x upon cos power 14x dx, and the last here integral of root tan x upon sin x into cos x dx. So friends, for your understanding, I will take here one or two sums here, right? Purposely I will take this one also. 1, 4, 6 I will discuss in the class, and rest you can practice from your end. Definitely after watching this explanation you will definitely able to solve each and every question. So how can we get an intuition that the question is in the form of this? Simply by expressing the question in the form of in terms of sine and cos, and shift the terms into numerator if they are in the denominator. While shifting the terms into numerator, their power sign will interchange. So in that way, and here the sin x into cos cube x, they are the product. You can simply shift them by changing their power, sign of the power. Let us say I am taking the question number 1, I is equal to 1 upon sin x into cos cube x dx. So just you need to check whether these questions are can be expressible in the form of this or not. So this can be a rough work, you can see. No need to show any exam if there is in the format or this is in the pattern. Okay, only just a rough work you can do. I'm just shifting this term to what we called as in the numerator. So it becomes sine power minus 1x into cos power minus 3x. I'm just shifting these trigonometric ratios in the numerator. You will see here minus 1 and minus 3 are integers, and their sum will give minus 4. Minus 1 plus minus 3 will give minus 4. Hence, it perfectly following this condition, Hence, I can apply this working rule. And what the working rule says, if their sum is minus 4, divide the numerator and denominator by cos to the power of 4x. So, I am just starting with the statement, divide the numerator and the denominator by cos to the power of 4x. Now you will see how this rule will work. So 1 by cos to the power of 4x numerator upon denominator sin x into cos cube x by cos power 4x. Okay, this is a thought process. So ultimately here 3 cos will cancel out, only 1 cos x is left, sin x upon cos x will reduce to tan x. This will be a sec power 4x. So I is equal to, it reduced to what, sec to the power of 4x upon tan x dx. So now once you divide this, then take tan x is equal to t. This is a working rule. So tan x is equal to t. Assume that let tan x is equal to t. Derivative of tan x is sec square x and t is dt by dx. In this way, dx will be replaced by dt upon sec square x. So just change in the question, right? I is equal to sec to the power of 4x upon t into dt upon sec square x. So 2 sec square will get cancelled. We are left with sec square x. And then write this x square x as 1 plus tan square x, because we need each and every term in terms of t only. तो हमें sec square x को tan की लैंग्वेज में लिखना होगा, जिससे हम tan x को t से रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. So hence I am just modifying sec square as 1 plus tan square x into dt upon t is left. So here it will reduce to what? 1 plus t square by t into dt, and I is equal to, you can separate the fraction. So ultimately you can see 1 by t means log t, t ka integration t square by 2 plus c, and then finally change the t with tan x. So answer is log of tan x plus tan square x by 2 plus c. So I hope it is understood now how this pattern will work just by following this working rule and by checking the question whether it is expressible in the form of sin power mx into cos power mx. Now I will take the question number 4 to understand this pattern more clearly. Question number 4 I am taking again here. Integral of sec power 4 by 3x into cosec power 8 by 3x dx, right? So if I convert them into sine and cos, so this will reduce to what? क्या होगा? Sec theta means reciprocal of sec x is cos, so it will become 1 by cos power 4 by 3. Or else I can write the same question as cos to the power of minus 4 by 3x, cosec का reciprocal sin 1 by sin लिखो, या sin to the power of minus 8 by 3x dx. Now you can see the question is directly in the form of this, where the powers are rational numbers and their addition. If you add these fractions in rough, you will get like minus 12 by 3, that is minus 4. Hence their sum is again a negative integer, then we'll divide the numerator and denominator with cos power 4x. Now how this will be reduced to? अब देखते हैं, right? So you can convert the negative powers into positive powers. and you can go for the further reduction and all. अब वो भी देख सकते हो, right? First I will convert them into a positive powers. So cos power 4 by 3x into sine power 8 by 3x dx. And then I am going with saying divide the numerator and the denominator by cos power 4x. So when I do this, 1 by cos power 4x, it reduced to sec power 4x upon. So when I divide the cos power with cos power 4x, the power of cos will reduce, their powers are reduced to what? Cos power 4 by 3 minus 4, it reduced to what? Hmm, 4 by 3, yeah, 4 minus 4 by 3 कर लीजिए. Let us say it reduced to what? Sine power 8 by 3x remains same. When I am dividing 4 minus 4 by 3, 4 minus 4 by 3, 12 minus 4, 8 by 3, it reduced to cos power 8 by 3x. So when you are doing this, numerator and denominator, divide the numerator and denominator with cos power 4x, the expression is reduced to like this. It becomes tan power 8 by 3x, sec power 4x by tan power 8 by 3x dx. Again take tan x is equal to t, its derivative sec square x will reduce this function. I am not explaining this substitution technique over here. Just take tan x is equal to t, and then you will see the change in the question, what it is going to be. I is equal to, the rest part will be sec square x by t to the power of 8 by 3 into dt after substitution of tan x is equal to t. Then sec square x can written as 1 plus tan square x, 1 plus tan square x by t to the power of 8 by 3 dt, and tan x is equal to, already t we assumed, it reduced to what? See, 1 plus tan square by tan power 8 by 3 dt. You can separate the fraction. You will get 3 to the power of minus 8 by 3 plus 8 by 2 minus 8 by 3. That is what? 3 to the power of 6 minus 8 minus 2 by 3 dt. And you can simply go with the regular formula of x to the power of n integral as x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1, and you can finish this part at your end. So here you have observed how this pattern will work. The same can go with this one, question number 6. I will explain only the introductory part of this question, then rest will be the same. So I hope definitely you will go with that one. I will give us a starting beginning, that is startup of this question, because I thought most of you are facing the problem, the root tan x upon sin x into cot x. Fine. So here I am taking the question number 6 as root tan x upon sin x into cos x dx. So first I will do the rough work over here, whether I am able to express this question into this form or not. So what is my rough work is convert them into sine and cos. It will remain as root sine x by root cos x. Then root cos x will come in denominator. So finally we left with root sine x upon sine x into cos x into root sine x. So here you can add what we, sorry, root cos x. No? It root cos x. So here the power of cos x will be added and the power of sin x will what we called as reduced by using the exponents law. So what I can say here, the 1 upon sine power uh, 1 minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2x into cos power 3 by 2x. So it reduced to this form. When you shift into the numerator, their powers become negative, minus 1 by 2 minus 3 by 2. Hence their powers are rational numbers. By adding them, you will get minus 4 by 2, that is minus 2. Power of their sum of their powers is equal to minus 2. Hence definitely this question is fit into this one. Hence, what the working rule says, divide the numerator and denominator with cos square x. So, this is all about the rough work. So, you can directly start with like divide the numerator and the denominator by cos square x. So, what you will see here, if you write this into root sin x upon root cos x form first, so what you will get, sin x into cos x into root cos x dx. First, I am writing the question in sin x and cos x language. Then I will go with this rule. I am dividing this numerator and denominator with cos square x. So root sin x is divided by cos square x upon sin x into cos x into root cos x by cos square x dx. So one cos get cancelled. Sin x upon cos x will reduce to tan x. So I is equal to root sin x into 1 by cos square x written as sec square x upon tan x into root cos x is left after dividing. Then take root tan x is equal to t. Its derivative is available as sec square x. It will get cancelled. Dx will change into dt. So I am leaving that portion directly. I am writing the step here. And even root sin x upon root cos x will reduce to root tan x. See the change here. So again the question is remains same, right? Root tan x into what? It's already get cancelled. So root tan x upon t into dt. Already we assumed tan x as already t, right? So it become root t upon t. See, I is equal to root t upon t into dt. So you can also write it as t to the power of minus 1 by 2 dt. Then apply the simple x power n formula to reduce it. So here the textual question it is 7.3 exercise में एक question है, but you will not get the direct idea to get the numerator, divide the numerator and denominator with cos square x. For this you need a working rule, you need a pattern based questions. That's why I kept this question in this pattern 7. So I hope definitely pattern 7 is understood now. You will definitely move on with the same one. So next we'll move to the pattern 8, right? So we'll discuss two more patterns in this session, pattern 8 and pattern 9. These are two very small patterns. Let's go with that one. Right. What this pattern 8 speaks. Pattern 8, right? They are in the form of like 1 upon cos x minus a into cos x minus b, 1 upon sine of x minus a into sine of x minus b. 1 upon sine of x minus a into cos of x minus b. And 1 upon mm, cos of x minus a into sine of x minus b. So these are the four questions you need to practice under this pattern. And this pattern says we will going to solve this question by using sine of a minus b or cos of a minus b. Now what does it mean? How this working rule will help you out? First of all, remember here a and b are constants, x is a variable. Now question is in the form of like 1 upon cos theta into cos a into cos b, 1 upon sin a into sin b, 1 upon sin a into cos b, 1 upon cos a into sin b, right? So we will divide the numerator and the denominator, or we will also say that divide the numerator and denominator with either sine of a minus b or cos of a minus b. But we'll decide first which will work. Either sine of a minus b will work or cos of a minus b will work. For that you need to check whether we are having if both the trigonometry ratios are the same or different. If both are same, we'll go with sine of a minus b formula. And if both are different, like in the third and fourth question, here in the denominator we are having sine and cos both. In this case, we'll divide the numerator and denominator with cos of a minus b. And we can do like this. Reason is a and b are constants, so ultimately sine of a minus b is a constant, non-zero constant. Hence, we can divide the numerator and denominator with any real constant which is not equal to 0. So, first I will take the question number 1 to understand this pattern, how I am moving this one. Yes, cos of x minus a into cos of x minus b dx. Now what I am doing is first I will go with the divide the numerator and denominator with sine of a minus b a quantity. So ultimately I can write this as 1 upon sine of a minus b into sine of a minus b upon the question remains same x minus a into x minus b into dx, right? So you can see over here what I have done. I simply multiply the numerator and denominator with sine of a minus b quantity, which is treated as a constant. So what is the use of this one? And this constant will just go on, right? And I'm going to modify this angle as sum or difference of these two angles. I'm going to modify this a minus b as sum or difference of these two angles. Now see how it will be looks like. So 1 upon sine of a minus b into what I will say here sine of, I can write this as the difference of these two angles. Difference of these two angles, right? Like x minus b minus x minus a. See, once you open the bracket, plus x minus get cancelled, a minus b is left. So a minus b can written as difference of these two angles. Okay, so hence what is the use of writing this way? You will see in the next step. So now you can apply sine of a minus b formula, sine a cos b minus cos a sin b. So I am going to split the question in the form that sine of a minus b as it is. I'm going to write this numerator as sine a minus sine of a minus b formula like sine a cos b minus cos a sine b. So now then I will separate the denominator with both the parts of like cos of a minus a into cos of a minus b, cos of x minus a into cos of x minus b dx. I will separate the integral as two fractions even. Then you will see 1 t ratio will be get cancelled. They do not get cancelled, right? Similarly, you can see cos of x minus b, cos of x minus b get cancelled. In the immediate next step, the question is simplified. They convert into a standard format, right? So sine of x minus b by cos of x minus b written as tan of x minus b dx minus sine of x minus a by cos of x minus a reduced to tan of x minus a dx. Now simply it is the standard form of tan theta. Tan theta integral is log of sec theta. So simply this is now a simplified answer you are getting. Is b into it is reduced to log of sec theta and theta is x minus b minus log of sec theta x minus a. Right? You can also write plus c separately. So in the form of log a minus log b, you may also reduce it into log a by b as a final answer, or you can leave the answer over here. So this is the technique we were using to reduce this type of sums. What we will go with, either will multiply the numerator and denominator with sine of a minus b or cos of a minus b. Sine of a minus b is preferable if both the t ratios are same. So for the first two questions, I just multiply the numerator and denominator with sine of a minus b quantity, right? For here, question number 3 and 4, you will see there are two different t ratios, sine and cos. Hence, it is advisable to multiply the numerator and denominator with cos of a minus b. The procedure will be remain same. If you understood the one question, and you will able to solve remaining three questions. That is for damn sure. And once you multiply, modify this angle as the difference of two angles which are the denominator without changing its aspect. Fine. So a minus b is written as x minus b minus x minus a. So once you write that one, then use the identity of sine of a minus b. If it is cos, so cos of a minus b formula will apply. To expand this and separate the fraction, some t ratios will get cancelled, then immediate next step it convert into a standard identities, and you can by using the identities you will definitely get the integral value. So this is all about the pattern number 8. So you will solve the remaining sums for the practice, and if possible pattern number 9 is there, but still I would like to take this pattern number 9. Yeah, yeah. Pattern number 9, 10, 11, 12 are there. Remaining three more patterns are there. There are total 11 patterns in the trigonometric functions. So in the session 1, we have taken 5 patterns. In session 2, I have taken 3 patterns. In the session 3, I will take the rest 3 patterns. Then you will see in entire NCRT, from wherever you want to solve the question or questions from the trigonometric functions, you will be able to solve. not only from 7.2 and 7.3, you may also take the questions from the miscellaneous one. You will able to solve each and every question which is related to trigonometric functions. So you need to wait for the next session for the rest three patterns, right? So till the time, just do the practice on these three patterns and try to solve the questions based on this one from NCERT. So thank you for watching me in this session and love you all. Take care and bye bye. We'll meet soon in the next session.